Imagine spending 2 full days analyzing a particular dataset, writing SQL queries, building dashboards, creating a beautiful report, only for a stakeholder to say, "This isn't what we needed." What? That was me early on in my career, not because I was bad with data, but because I skipped one very important and critical step. I didn't ask the right questions before going to analyze my dataset. And in this video, I'll show you the exact questions good analysts ask that save hours of wasted work. Here's something many people don't realize about data analysis. Most data problems aren't even technical problems, they are communication problems. For example, a stakeholder might say, "Can we analyze customer activity?" But what does that actually mean? Are we trying to understand customer retention, or are we trying to understand the product usage, or the churn risk, or the revenue behavior of the customers? So if you jump straight into solving the data, you might find yourself solving the wrong problem. And good analysts know this so well. So before they even open Excel or Power BI or SQL or whatever their tool is, they ask clarifying questions. The first thing good analysts ask is, number one, what problem are we trying to solve? That sounds simple, right? But it's surprisingly powerful. For example, imagine a stakeholder asks you, "Can you build a dashboard showing website traffic?" That sounds straightforward, but a good analyst would take a step forward and ask, why? What decision will this help you make? Maybe the real concern is even declining sales, or conversions are low, or ineffective marketing campaigns. And if the real problem is conversion, a traffic dashboard won't help much. Do you get what I'm saying? So this one question can completely change the analysis. The next question is one of the most important in analytics, which is, what decisions will this analysis support? Because data analysis isn't just about the numbers, it's about helping people make decisions. That's all. For example, if the marketing team wants to know which campaign performs best, your analysis might guide decisions like where to increase the budget, which campaign to stop, which one to start again, which audience to target. So knowing the decision helps you focus on the most relevant insights. Essentially, you must understand what decision you're trying to make. Another powerful question is, how do we define success? So let's say a company wants to increase their application engagement. That sounds great. But engagement can mean so many things. It can mean daily active users. It could mean session duration, meaning that how long are users staying on their app for. It could mean feature usage. It could also mean retention rate. But if you do not clarify this early, you might measure the wrong metric entirely. So great analysts make sure everyone agrees on the definition of success before starting analysis. And here's the fourth question that great analysts make. What data do we actually have? One thing you must understand is that stakeholders are very, very ambitious, and sometimes they assume certain data exists, but in reality, the data might either be incomplete, inaccurate, delayed, or not collected or tracked at all. For example, a team might want to analyze customer satisfaction trend, but if satisfaction surveys weren't tracked consistently, that means the analysis may not be reliable. So understanding the data limitation early, it helps prevent misleading insights on your part as an analyst. And finally, to the fifth question that good analysts ask, it's about constraints. So things like, what are the deadlines? What's the reporting formats? What are the regulatory requirements for this analysis? What is the stakeholder expectations? For example, if a report needs to be delivered every Monday morning, the data pipeline needs to support that schedule, that expectation as well. So these operational details often shape how the analysis is done. And here is something many analysts discover over time. The difference between an average analyst and great analyst isn't just about technical skills. It's their ability to frame the problem correctly. Because once the problem is clearly defined, the data analysis becomes much easier. In fact, many experienced analysts say good analysis start with good questions. And I agree with that as well. So the next time someone asks you to analyze the data, don't immediately open your data set. Pause, Ask questions, clarify the objective of the analysis, understand the business decision, and define the success metric. Because great analysts don't just analyze data, they make sure they are solving the right problems first. So if you're learning data analytics or you're a data analyst, I would like to know what's the most confusing data request you've ever received. Share it in the comments, and if you want more videos about becoming a data analyst, please subscribe to this channel, because in subsequent videos I'll be sharing great tips that will help you either as a junior analyst or a senior analyst or even as a mid-level. Till I see you in the next one. Bye.